Unexplained Mysteries Global UFO Warning. Military sightings around the world are skyrocketing. Tehran, Iran. Air traffic controllers track a giant object in the night sky near Mehrabad Air Force Base. It was larger than an airliner.
When I saw this object is flying that fast, then I thought this is not a helicopter and this is not an aircraft. By that time I said, oh, it should be some kind of a UFO.
The Air Force scrambled an F-4 with their best pilot to get a closer look. At 23,000 feet, the pilot radioed that he saw a bright object. Then he got closer. His instruments became magnetized and unreadable.
It may suggest a deliberate kind of control mechanism such that when the airplane is no longer a threat, it can change the radiation so that the systems on board the airplane come back to normal.
I put down my phone and I run to my balcony to see if I can see that object. I saw a big star among the other stars, which was at least twice as large as the normal stars. I asked the tower what happened, and he said we lost the communication again. So I was so scared what's going to happen and what happened to the pilots.
When the plane moved away, communication and instrument control returned.
So I asked from the tower controller to tell them to continue their mission and see if they can get more information from the flying object.
The pilot reported that a smaller object had separated from the large one and was bearing down on him.
And it was coming toward them. They tried to shut him down. When they squeezed the trigger, it didn't work, and the trigger was inoperative. They couldn't shoot the missiles.
We understood that the eject instrument also didn't work. So in this case, I said to God, oh God, save them.
The pilot tried to evade the object. When he got 10 miles away from the mothership, his instruments were restored. The small object veered off and landed on a nearby mountain.
While they were landing, the tower was screaming on the phone to me, General, this flying object is following them and is going to land in Mehrabad.
The larger ship followed the F-4 back to the base and flew by the tower. All the power on the base went out.
That was strange for us, and we asked each other why the power went out for some seconds.
There are other cases, well documented, where power has been disrupted on the ground over fairly large areas during UFO presence.
The mothership flew off to the west. Later that same night, it was seen over Cairo, then Lisbon.
It could be a spy airplane. I really have no idea, but maybe from some other world.
Iranian newspapers immediately got hold of the story. At first, it was front-page news. But then, the apparent cover-up began as the military put a clamp on any interviews.
I don't know why the appropriate authority prohibited me to interview with the press.
As the story got around that the whole thing was a hoax, General Yousefi continued to search for evidence.
I asked from the pilot of the F-4 to go and to look after that flying object.
But their instruments registered a strange electronic sound.
The beeping sound that was picked up could be one of a number of things. It might be technology. In fact, depending on the frequency stability and interfrequency pulse and other factors like that, it very likely is a technology of some sort, as opposed to a natural phenomenon.
And a U.S. spy satellite also tracked unknown signals that same night over Tehran.
We saw something. That's an independent confirmation that an event of some type occurred at that time and place. What it was, we don't know.
Certain agencies, including the CIA, have gone on record as having information on this particular case.
Was U.S. intelligence involved in a cover-up with the Iranian military?
That somebody thought this case was very, very important when it happened, and the American people deserve to know what happened.
Former Iranian generals claimed they shared information on the UFO with the U.S. government.
I was convinced that was a UFO.
As far as my experience is concerned, it can be American airplane, it can be Russian, it can be any technology to be like that, except some super technology, which is only UFO.
The highlight of the information that we gave to the U.S. government was the high rate of crime and high rate of extradition that we saw from the UFO.
Whether or not there was a cover-up, the generals believe what they saw.
I don't have any doubt about UFO. UFO exists, and they're trying to find some way to get contact with our group.
Later on Unexplained Mysteries, the strange incidents that occurred one night in England.
And it was without doubt one of the most major waves of sightings that Britain had ever seen.
The policeman who saw the flying object.
The timing of their sighting was exactly the same as the timing of our sighting.
The Salida encounter, a rare daytime UFO.
At first, I thought those guys were crazy. I was like, that's dumb. And then when it started moving around, I was like, I couldn't believe it.
In Mexico City, an unprecedented mass sighting. Thousands of witnesses. Hundreds of UFOs.
This was a massive phenomenon.
And we put all the facts together for you in our Unex report, coming up on Unexplained Mysteries.
Well, after I got divorced, I was feeling a little burned. I didn't think that I was ever going to find a person that I could really fall in love with again. And my sisters actually said to me, why don't you try eHarmony? It looks a little more serious. And I was a little skeptical, but lo and behold, I found Karen, and it's just better than I could ever have imagined.
See how it feels to be matched based on compatibility. Review all your matches for free. eHarmony.com.
Wish you could look younger, feel better, and have more energy than ever before? Now you can by discovering the magical power of juicing with the amazing new Super Juicer from Sharper Image. With the Super Juicer from Sharper Image, you can have fresh, all-natural juice in seconds and be on your way to feeling youthful and energetic. Other juicers are difficult to use because their small feeders mean you have to chop and slice. Pre-packaged juices are filled with sugars, preservatives, and other chemicals, but the Super Juicer from Sharper Image has an oversized feeder that accepts the juiciest whole fruits and vegetables, so you have fresh, healthy juice in a snap. Other juicers leave delicious juice in the pulp. What a waste! But the Super Juicer from Sharper Image has a high-powered 700-watt motor, and its super sharp stainless steel blades remove all the juice from the pulp, so you get more juice. The Super Juicer's mega-sized pulp collector even acts like a food processor, so it's two machines in one. Use the natural fiber in the pulp to make homemade soups, sauces, cakes, and so much more. Why give your family sugary store-bought juice? The Super Juicer from Sharper Image makes all natural juices, full of healthy vitamins and minerals. Plus, it's super quiet and dishwasher safe, so cleanup's a breeze. Now you can try the Super Juicer from Sharper Image for 30 days for just $14.95. That's right, just $14.95. Call now and we'll ship it to you for free. We'll even include the Super Juicer recipe book. Get on your way to looking and feeling better with the amazing new Super Juicer from Sharper Image through this 30-day trial for just $14.95. And shipping is free. Call and get yours now.
To order your Sharper Image Super Juicer and receive a 30-day trial for only $14.95, have your credit card ready and call toll-free 1-800-352-4700. Remember, you get free shipping and handling, so call 1-800-352-4700. That's 1-800-352-4700.
If you've got one of these, you probably use these to keep them healthy. But why? when you can get these? They're exactly the same brand name medications, but these cost a lot less because they're from 1-800-PET-MEDS. With 1-800-PET-MEDS, you save a trip to the vet too, because they're delivered free, right to your door, with a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Millions of pet owners trust 1-800-PET-MEDS for fast service, free shipping, and big savings. Call now or order online from 1-800-PET-MEDS, America's largest pet pharmacy.
Pollen. When I really like to be outside, I did not like suffering from nasal allergy symptoms like congestion, but Nasonex relief. May I say, beautiful. Prescription Nasonex is proven to help relieve indoor and outdoor nasal allergy symptoms like congestion, runny and itchy nose, and sneezing.
Side effects were generally mild and included headache, viral infections, sore throat, nosebleeds, and coughing.
Hello, my flower.
Ask your doctor about symptom relief with Nasonex.
Beautiful.
Next time on Shatner's Raw Nerve.
Women come up to me and they're just like, you know, you changed my life. You saved my marriage.
Changed your life in that you made them realize their sexuality.
A special Shatner's Raw Nerve, Tuesday at 10 on Bio.
Unexplained Mysteries, Global UFO Warning. Nick Pope was a flying saucer skeptic when he started working in Britain's Ministry of Defense. What he learned there changed his mind forever.
I'd been doing the UFO job for a year or so when a case came along which really changed my perception on the whole UFO mystery. And it was without doubt one of the most major waves of sightings that Britain had ever seen.
Hundreds of police and military personnel saw a huge UFO, but defense radar did not detect it.
The object was black, and it appeared to be shaped either something like a wedge shape or a delta wing shape, or indeed like a catamaran, a twin-hulled craft. There were lights on this craft, which they appeared to be at either end of it, which they described as about 500 feet apart.
Pope fielded numerous reports of the object.
I checked aircraft movements, satellite tracks, airships, weather balloons, but after an extremely detailed inquiry, I drew a complete blank. This was a genuine unknown.
But Pope was particularly intrigued by the account of two Devon policemen who saw the unidentified craft up close.
Gus and I both sort of looked at each other, and Gus stopped the car and we got out. Certainly the three lights that we saw, I certainly formed the opinion that they were fixed to the same object, albeit I couldn't see any object, travelling at the same speed, and had it been a conventional sized aircraft, it would have been a deafening noise. It was probably in our view for about 30 seconds.
It was really strange, yeah. Those are the three lights in the position, and that's our vehicle. You just don't know what to say, do you? It's the first time you come across something like that.
They found out that others had witnessed the strange silent lights in the sky.
Another officer in Cornwall came up over the radio and said that he had seen these lights. And then other officers came across the radio as well to say that they'd seen the lights as well.
Calls were coming into headquarters from officers all over southern England.
The other officers who saw these lights, albeit some of those officers were in excess of 60 or 70 miles away from where we were, the timing of their sighting was exactly the same as the timing of our sighting, which, putting the whole thing together, makes it even bigger mystery.
Police officers are reliable. They're not given to flights of fancy, as far as we're concerned.
Pope discovered the Royal Air Force had no clue what the object was either.
He realised that something had happened, and he seems to have gone out of his way to be as helpful as he possibly could by sending me a letter with the map on it, of course. We've never had this before from anybody in that position.
Pope also sent out a list of military bases that had reported the UFO.
We'd got reports from military personnel of a sizable craft operating very low over 2 of our military bases, and there was nothing on radar. So we never had any warning, and we never even got our air defense aircraft into the air.
But the fact is that an unknown craft crossed right across these counties, and the RAF do not